At the end of last session, the party managed to steal the watch from Mr. Witch and Mr. Light and coerce them into showing them a portal that led into the land of Prismere, a domain, a sort of separate, almost pocket dimension connected to the Feywild, where supposedly these lost things that the five of you were looking for had been sort of stowed away or stashed. You leapt through the portal and found yourselves standing on top of a bridge. So I'll read out the same thing I read out at the end of last session to give you guys an idea of where you are. So you stand at the edge of a raised and broken causeway under a hazy twilight sky. The causeway, which is built from pale stones that glow faintly from within, towers over the surrounding landscape, but large sections of it have crumbled away. So sort of imagine a large stone bridge held up by constant pillars that form archways below it. You're about 100 feet up. Now imagine that this bridge, it extends as far as you can see into a wall of mist that surrounds the entirety of the swamp. You can't see beyond this wall of mist. The bridge on your right-hand side exits the swamp just beside where you are, the mist, extends the entire distance of the swamp and goes back into it. And at two sections, equal distance from each other, so splitting the bridge into three, the bridge has collapsed away, more or less. The parts that remain in place are separated by large gaps where obviously portions have indeed collapsed. A fog-shrouded swamp spreads out below you in all directions, and up from its murk wafts the smell of rotting plants. Also rising from the swamp is the music of nature, a discordant symphony of croaking frogs and singing birds. So you are currently on an isolated section of this bridge. It is about 20 feet wide or so and about 30 feet long in total. And yeah, it's 100 feet above the rest of the swamp. You can see, sort of looking into the distance, you can see several very clear things. You can see a large, giant tower to the east, directly to the east of you. It's this gorgeous stone tower with gold inlay and a beautiful blue cap. It looks maybe 3 or 4 miles away, and you can see that the tower itself, however, it's tilted. It's leaning very, very heavily to one side. It looks like it threatens to keel over. Black brambles surround the base of the tower and cling to its lower half, hanging from the crenellations on the lower side of the tower's... We're not going to read that yet. Never mind. You can see beyond the tower, further east, you can see a giant... At first, it looks like just a mountain. But as you look at it, you can see that the base of the mountain itself is covered with a thin mist. And if I was to describe like clown style shoes, like long with like a sort of curved and pointed tip, this mountain appears to have 3 or 4 of those connected to the bottom of it to sort of slap up and down like it can walk around almost. To the north of you, you can see a giant settlement, massive wooden walkways connecting to a giant, what looks like a trunk of a tree, almost as big as the tower that you saw to the east. As you sort of take in the area around you, in the distant sky, you spot a great balloon made of patchwork material. It spins out of control as though punctured, causing the wicker basket that hangs from it to swing wildly. The balloon plunges out of sight, disappearing into the fog approximately a mile away. In the same direction, it disappears in the same area as that strange tilting tower. There's a lot going on around you. What would you all like to do?
I just want to note that tilted towers have been brought back into D&D as well as Fortnite by the sound of it.
I was waiting for someone to get it. I was about to say we were doing so well not to make a bad Fortnite.
I will correct myself. I apologize. They've avoided copyright. They've called it Slanty Tower. in the book.
No.
Is its official name is Slanty Tower.
And you had to
So-
bring back clowns and fog.
Yeah.
Bard's gonna have a
Ooh.
field
That's-
day.
Fucking
Hey, look.
fog clouds.
Zenfire. I will say,
Yes.
of everyone here, you get a strong sense of, how would I describe it? Purpose when you're here. You
Nice.
feel like you're getting closer to your goal. No one else. You all still feel that strange emptiness, but Zenfire, the emptiness isn't filled, but you just feel emboldened almost. Like you can feel like your journey in particular is
I have feeling.
yes. It's hard to describe. Almost like a spidey sense that's sort of telling you that what you're looking for, it's here somewhere. It's in this swamp. You just don't know
So
where.
could
I
we
have
say that?
tingling.
Could we say that his Thunderstones are tingling? Is that what we're
You
saying?
could theoretically
my
say that
Thunderstones
yes,
are
his
tingling.
Thunderstones are tingling. Yes, you could. That is certainly an option.
That I'm not a bard.
You tried
Oh,
to.
God.
Words.
Word.
I'm just
So-
gonna keep those to me.
You all sit
Off
on
stream,
this
off stream.
100-foot high stone bridge above the swamp.
So we're on the bridge, yeah?
You are on the bridge. You
Right.
cannot see a way down.
Right.
When in
Oh.
doubt, jump off the tower.
I feel we should investigate what's
Soft
going on
landing,
with
right?
the balloon that was spinning out of control.
I think we should look at how to get off this 100-foot high tower.
I also want to remind y'all that we are looking for a cottage in the Phase Swamp on stilts.
Correct.
That is objective number 1.
Because we're trying to find
Do we
someone.
need an alicorn?
Yeah, we are. We're trying to
Yes,
find
we need an
Alicorn.
alicorn. I can't remember. That was your hint, so I didn't really write it down.
Yeah. So we need to find the Alicorn and free the dormant
Free-
queen.
You must find the
Yes.
Alicorn.
Yep.
Free the dormant queen. And an Alicorn, just,
Selena?
as I said at the end of last stream, but just to remind you all, to clarify what an Alicorn is again, an Alicorn is the name of a unicorn's horn. Just to,
Yep.
that is something that your characters will be very
I have
much
a
aware of.
separate
That's just
line in
common
my
knowledge.
table just for that.
I need to.
Yep, it
I needed
is.
to put the chat away. I look over there every time. It's something fucking hilarious.
Yes, I'm trying not to look at Bean and Lil's conversation.
It gets
Um,
very distracting.
So you said that at present that we are stuck on this 100-foot high bridge that it doesn't appear to have any way down that we
It
can
does
currently see it.
not. No, not that you can see.
I'm gonna
Um,
see if I have any rope. I'm sure I do.
While
You
you're
I'm
probably
gonna
checking-
just fly. But anyway.
Look, we're all that small.
Can you
and
can you
have
carry me
wings.
down? Can I make whatever the appropriate check is to see if I can see any path, any handholds, any way off, any hidden doors in this
I'll say
bridge
you can go
or
ahead. Yeah,
steps?
you can go ahead and make me an investigation check. That one will be. You can go ahead and roll that one for me if you like.
Jesus Christ.
While you do that, Ranik, I'm pretty
Oh.
sure that if you took an explorer's kit at the start of the adventure, you should have 50 foot of hempen rope. I think most of you should.
I have 2
Yeah.
pieces of. I have 2 lengths of rope. I have 100 feet of rope altogether.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
you
have,
can.
I also have the 50 feet of rope.
I also
I-
have 50 feet of rope.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't-
it's a very common thing to have.
I took
Rapunzel, put down your
I
rope.
took the cleric stuff, so I don't have the rope.
No, that's all good.
Yeah, we're
What
going
did you
to.
get for your-
No rope.
I rolled a 19, but I've got a -1, so 18.
You look around. You're pretty confident. See it. Looking around, you can't see any direct, like, way down, but you can see that it looks like someone has carved almost like makeshift hand and footholds into all of the pillars that actually hold this bridge up. And you can see that about halfway down, about 50 foot down, giant, like enormous mushrooms have been growing at the base of this bridge and have grown up and sort of sort of almost have like this natural step-like quality to them. So if you think that if you could maybe climb down the handed footholds, it would be pretty comfortable walking from then on.
So climb down to the mushrooms and then
Climb down to the
walk across
mushrooms,
them.
and you think that you could probably, as long as the mushrooms hold under your weight, then there'll be no check, let's say, like that in rules wise. If you can get to the mushrooms,
Yeah,
the
just got to
mushrooms
get to
are
the mushrooms.
yeah.
Can just in the interest of truncating time, can I have just shared all of what I observed with everybody else?
Everything I just said. Law
Hero
Pigeon
would-
comes along, flies over, shares that information.
So we send Snack first because they're less likely to.
Yeah. Which way were
Being
we
the smallest of our
gonna
party.
head
Like,
once he went down there first? We'll get Ranik to remember where the tower is, and so he can.
Good luck.
point it.
Hang on, has his
The
sunrise
tower-
passed? Has he got his sense of direction back, or whatever it was? His
I'm missing my sense of
Sparkly.
direction, so asking me to remember
No,
what something
sorry.
is.
no,
So
but he
it's-
had the.
you had a distracted effect. Is
Easily
that
E-
gone.
gone?
easily
amused.
That is gone. Your easily
Gone.
amused effect
Yes.
is the
Oh.
moment you step through the portal, that disappeared.
He is
Okay,
no
That
cool,
longer.
seemed to
because
be
that
a
balloon
strange effect
was
to the carnival.
was what I was gonna settle my heart on. I was gonna go for it.
Oh,
I was
this
just
is-
concerned about shiny things. Yep.
Oh, we
Okay.
can still go there.
So
No,
everyone who is
I
except
can
Rennick,
get back on track.
everyone
What?
except Rennick, the tower is very easily to remember the direction of. It is due east, and it is very big. It is hard to sort of miss. Rennick, maybe you'll retain that information. Who knows?
I'm not writing it down, so I will not.
Smart. But yeah, the tower is pretty much due east. You kind of can't miss it if you just head in an easterly direction. You'll pretty much get it.
I'm just gonna put tower somewhere.
Oh dear lord.
So the stone path, does that head in like multiple directions, or that's heading more towards the giant settlement to the north?
It heads, so the actual the actual bridge itself heads almost directly north.
Yep. Okay. So towards the giant settlement to the north. Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, it actually heads beyond that. It heads
Oh,
into
okay,
the
cool.
mist on the other side. It heads like, yeah.
To the
so
Clown Mountain.
I do have 2 maps to send through, but the maps
Oh,
contain some
yeah.
spoilers, so I'm going to wait
Oh.
till the end of this session to send them through to our wonderful streamers and you guys, so you can add them. I didn't want to spoil anything from
Roger
this
that.
session. It's just a
Okay,
bit-
so sorry, I may have misunderstood. I thought we were stranded on this bridge is a
You
broken
are.
structure. Okay,
You
sorry.
are. So
I did have that wrong.
the bridge continues north. Like the whole bridge, it's clearly meant to, but it's broken in 2 places.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So like the bridge itself does continue, you just can't continue traveling across it is the problem. Because of it, because
Okay.
it's broken away as well.
So essentially, I think we need to start making our way off this bridge. As discussed, there are some handholds.
That sounds good. Let's climb down.
So who would like to attempt to climb down the hand?
Oh, I think
go
eagle-eyed
first.
travel bag.
Okay.
If Racer flies down, would we
Yeah,
all get advantage on climbing if she tells us like where the best handholds are?
That's
You know what we'll do?
ridiculous.
You know what we'll do? I'll say Snack, you can just fly. That's no problem. I'll say Snack, make me a wisdom check.
Please flap
We'll-
penguin
we'll
wings
say
ears as you
it's
fly.
an- We'll give it an easy-
flap the wings, flap the wings.
We'll give it an
What
easy
the-
DC of 10. We'll say it's an easy check, and if you succeed, you can give 1 other person advantage.
One.
You can give 1. You can pick your favorite member of this party. I'm going to force you to pick favorites.
Okay. All right. So that's that one, I think.
Just
I was gonna say something, but I'm
Boring
gonna keep my mouth
shit.
closed on
Is
this
it the
one.
whiz save?
just
Sorry?
a wisdom check. So just stand
What's
if you're up
that?
the top of D&D Beyond, you'll just see your 6 stats up the top.
Oh, there.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Just normal wisdom. I will say a little bit of a
Oh,
tip for people you're
15.
going to give the advantage to. That's success.
Nice.
So you can give one. You can help one person down. A little bit of a tip. I'd recommend a little bit of a wink and a nod from the DM, picking the person with the lowest strength score.
You
Well,
don't. I'm good.
I
I got tricks up my sleeve.
have decent strength, I believe.
I don't know.
I
who
have a
that would
-1 in
be.
strength, but I'm good.
I'm 16 plus 3, so a good.
I'm
So
15
who would like
plus
to
2.
attempt to climb down the pillars first? Who's gonna lead the charge down?
Well, I
here?
think
I
my
think Ranik
Thunderstones are
seems-
still tingling, so I feel brave and I feel like I might mount that
Alright.
challenge, so to speak.
Okay, Zenfire, go ahead and make me an athletics check, please.
And athletics, can I warm up first? Is there
Athletics.
stretching involved?
No, mate, you're tingly enough.
You can stretch. You stretch.
Oh, hang
you
on, wait a
stretch
minute. Hang
your
on.
muscles out.
Who got the advantage? Racer needs to shoot someone that advantage.
Oh, Egg never told me what his was.
Egg, what's your strength?
Where did Egg go?
She's supposed to pick her favorite, by the way.
There is Egg.
So we all
Egg.
must judge.
Are you there, Egg?
Yep,
What's your
Ooh.
strength?
it's always here. It's like 20.
Holy shit!
Bang.
That
Well,
power
that's 20.
lives.
That's a lie. 16.
Okay, so
Okay.
I
Okay.
rolled a 19.
So it'll be
16 plus
Ranik.
3.
I think Ranik has the worst.
We
Okay.
always knew he was your favorite. It's fine.
Without
It's
any
fine.
problem, Zenfire, before anyone else even starts to climb down, you are
True.
down the side of this pillar with absolutely no effort.
That's the way.
You zip your way down to the mushrooms.
The
Not a
nimblest
problem.
dwarf.
Who is going next?
Can I go next?
If you want, why don't we just have everyone except Snack roll me a strength check, please?
Can it be athletic?
Athletics
athletics.
specifically, yeah. It's
Alright.
strength, athletics are the same thing. It's just whether or not you're proficient with athletics
24.
specifically.
24.
24?
Oh.
And Ranik, you roll with advantage.
Ooh, that was a 14 on the first try.
Jesus
And a
Christ!
15.
Luggage is
Okay.
dead.
Well, thank God it wasn't just a strength check. If it was a strength check, I would have had a -1, but with athletics, I have a +1.
Ah.
So
I've got a +4 on athletics, and I rolled a 2, so
Oh.
6.
So that's a 6.
See,
Okay.
look, this is what happens when you don't warm
Um,
up. You need to warm up.
so
You've got a
here's
headband.
what-
You know
I
warm
need
up.
to get the WD-40 out and start spraying the joints of the.
Here's-
do I
here's what-
do I have enough time to react to him?
I'll say
failing?
no. Okay, I'll say you can react, but if you do, look, by the time he's falling, you're climbing down.
Falling.
So, like, it's
So it's up
kind
to,
of like
Egg
a,
and I, isn't it? Really?
it's kind of like a if you let go, you're falling as well sort of situation.
So I'm just currently.
I'm
you
not
already
sure.
told me I'm falling.
not sure what. So I'm gonna try to cast levitate on him.
While
Okay,
you're
l-
climbing down a. Okay.
Go
You're a
ahead
rogue with
and make
levitate?
me an Arcana check. But wait, are you
It's
Ranik?
a.
You're a...
I'm an air genasi, and that's my.
That's right. Okay, go ahead and make me a. What is your? Is it Constitution for Genasi spells?
I do not
Do
know.
I have that
I don't-
right?
Yeah, it's Constitution.
Go ahead and make me a Constitution check, please.
That is a 16.
Boom.
Okay, I will allow you to, with your very deft fingers, as Luggage falls. He falls past you as you're halfway down. Luggage sort of leans off. He has his arms on the edge. He puts his foot on the first foothold and he is gone. The foothold breaks under him and he is gone. He falls past you. He falls past Snack. He falls past the mushrooms and just falls to the swamp below. You hit him with levitate and slowly he just starts floating back up. Just ever so slowly. Now,
Just trying to
I
swim.
would like to point out that
So he's floating
levitate.
back up towards the top.
I'm pretty sure levitate does not give you directional control. He just floats straight up.
I
I'm
have a
trying.
cunning plan.
You can
Could,
choose
could-
to
could
move them
someone-
up
could
or
someone-
down.
Grab me.
The target can move by pushing or pulling against fixed objects and surfaces within reach.
There are no
Which allows it to
surfaces
move
within
you can either
range.
challenge. Yeah.
All right. I have an idea. I feel like I can very quickly.
Oh, I can
I'll
change
end
it. I can change its altitude by 20 feet on my turn.
Okay, so
I
can
was going to
can
suggest
you-
that.
So at the moment, I'm just floating. away.
Yeah, aimlessly floating.
Shit. So GM, I got no one. I can't reach
Oh,
out
in
to
either
grab
direction.
anything.
Yep. So you can. Oh no, either direction. You can lower him down onto the swamp floor if you want.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Also, when it
Yeah,
ends,
that
you
was my
float
bad,
down
sorry.
to the ground.
Yeah, that was my bad. So
That was
you
my insurance.
safely-
So, and I only get to use that for long rest. So,
technically
At
so
the moment, I
I'm
don't know any of this, so I'm just panicking,
Yeah.
floating in space.
What is going on?
300-pound robot just.
I'm being very
scrabbling
nice
in
here.
air.
Technically, to do what you just did, you need a completely different spell. You need Featherfall, not Levitate. But look, I'm gonna let you get away with it. Who cares? I don't want to kill one of you. The moment
Appreciate
you
you.
arrive in, the
well, no, it's just when the spell ends, the target floats gently to the ground, or if it is still aloft.
It's more the cast time. So Levitate is an
Oh.
action, whereas Featherfall is a reaction. So Featherfall is
Oh,
made
yeah.
for situations like that, whereas Levitate is like I am planning to float up or down to a location type thing.
I see
But
what
that's
you're
okay.
saying now.
Hence why the Constitution
The
check.
kind of
Whereas if you had
benevolent
Featherfall,
GM.
you just sort of get away with it.
So I just about became shrapnel.
Should have cast
So
that
you-
before he fell.
Luggage, you carefully place your feet on the ground and land in the swamp. As you land in the swamp, Luggage, you can see that you are standing in like sticky mud. It's not too deep. It's maybe only like halfway up your boot type thing, like the sole of your boot. It's very low waters in the area that you are at the moment. As everyone else starts climbing down the mushroom slowly, the sticky mud that squelches beneath your feet, tangled mangroves grow out of pools of rippling water, half hidden by the thick fog, and purple mushrooms cling to rotting logs and stumps scattered throughout the marsh. Crickets that glow like fireflies chirp serenely before they're snatched out of the air by the tongues of hungry frogs. Coming from one direction, so the others aren't quite with you yet, you're just sort of by yourself. Coming from one direction are several voices joined in what appears to be a marching song. The singing grows louder as 6 bipedal, so 2-legged, rabbits wearing clothing emerge from the fog. 2 of them tug at the reins of a giant snail, and the others carry clubs and slings. They sing, and I have practiced this song to make sure I don't screw it up,
Nice.
and I'm going to
Nice.
screw it up anyway.
Everybody, shh.
Oh, it's not going to be good. Don't be quiet, please. Talk over me.
No.
With sticks and stones we'll break your nose, we'll beat you blind and steal your clothes, but none among us can compare to one wily stand-up hair, scarf that's glorious, thief notorious, his deeds are truly meritorious. With a wink and a grin, he'll show you his cunning. A flash of his scarf, he'll take off running, quick as a bolt, his long scarf trailing. Gasping, you'll end up flailing. You'll pout, you'll moan, you'll huff, you'll sneer. Thanks to Ogden Long Scarf, Brigand Prince of Premier. As you can see that 4 of the brigands have weapons drawn.
Oh,
As they approach, you can see that they go to keep singing as one of them puts up a hand, and all of them fall to silence as they all just sort of look at you, Luggage, just standing by yourself in the swamp. One of the rabbits. So these are Harangan. They're a new D&D race. Bipedal rabbits, about the size of a normal human. One of them sort of looks at you, clearly a female one, and steps forward and says, "Hello. What's all this then? How you doing?"
I'm just going to put like one hand across my chest and give a bow because I'm a lot taller than these rabbits. And greetings, friends. That was a beautiful song. What, may I ask, were you singing about?
Oh, we're just singing about our boss. My apologies. My name's Jebek, and if you'd be so kind, this is a robbery. If you resist, we'll beat you black and blue. So just hand over what you got, and we'll be on our way.
Jebek, I appreciate your politeness. I am Luggage. I'm not sure I'm capable of being black nor blue, and that sounds rather unpleasant. And then I'm just going to look up and, in my best Admiral Akbar, scream to the rest of you, "It's a trap!"
As you say, it's a trap. Like you say that it's not possible to make you black and blue, and you see the two snails, the two Harangians who are dragging the snail along, look at each other very sad and sort of look back to pots of blue and black paint that are hanging from the snail. They sort of just look very disappointed.
Yes.
The woman looks very confused. Like the female rabbit, she doesn't obviously like. Sorry, did you miss the part where this is a? Look, just give us what we want. No need to have any combat. We outnumber you, 6 hares and 1 snail to a deck chair. So here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna give me what I want, and we're gonna take off. Sound good? I think that sounds like a great deal.
What is it that you want? And I'm
Oh,
trying to
it's easy.
have this conversation as loudly as I can. Just hopefully my rest of my group will hear and twig to something going on.
Easy. You know when you get a gift, yeah? Think about the best gift you ever got. Think about how happy it made you. That's what I want. I want that feeling. I'm going to take it from you.
I mean, I can
You
help
see,
out.
she sort of reaches in behind her and pulls out a stoppered gourd. You can see that it has a golden knob on the top. And she just sort of holds it.
I appreciate your civility, but I have already given enough, and I am not prepared to part with more. The being freed from bondage and slavery is my happiest memory, and I am not prepared to part with that.
At this point, the other 4 very ominously just sort of like enter through the swamp behind you, just very ominously. None of you, as the 4 of you walk in, you see Luggage standing here with these 6 humanoid hares and the giant snail. You didn't hear any part of this interaction. Until the moment you saw them, you couldn't hear a thing.
Right, so we know not of the proceedings.
Not until you enter the situation, I'm
Cute
afraid.
rabbits and snail friends.
You can see that the female one at the front clearly holds a stoppered gourd and has like a very wiry smile on her.
Kit
Oh, you
bag,
got a
Robert.
friend?
Who's your friend with the golden knob?
So these guys haven't heard me yell out it's a trap or any of the rest of it.
No, they haven't.
Unfortunately, comrades, these very cute hares are not what they may seem and wish to take more from us and take our happiest memory into that bottle. I am not prepared to part with mine. I have so few.
I am going to try to talk our way out of this.
Oh, this should be good.
The first thing you can do is go ahead and make me an intimidation check.
Also, when you say deception.
Everyone in the group.
Everyone.
All 5 of you. So this is a group intimidation check. Essentially what that means is you need a certain number of you need to succeed in order to succeed as a group.
So that's a saving
that
throw
was
check
rude.
on the intimidation there. No.
Just an
sorry, is it-
intimidation check.
So if you look on your
Sorry,
abilities,
yeah,
it's
you've
about
got
a
it,
third of the way
in the
down.
list, in the list, yeah.
Oh, 7.
Got a 15.
9.
3 of
20.
us succeeded.
20. Sorry, I had a 15, a 7, a 9, a 20. Who am I missing?
Egg. Oh no, Egg.
No,
got a
Egg got the 20.
Got the 20.
Dynasty, what'd you roll?
I got a 12.
Right. There you
Luggage
go.
got a
12. Okay,
9.
I think you were the one
So
asking.
9, 7, 12, 20, 15.
Okay. The female haranguer sort of looks at the others and says, normally, we're threatened to give you a beating, a thrashing, a whomping, if you will. But you know what? We might, we'll see you round. Have fun. From hither to thither, as they say.
Before
all
they
just
go,
start
I
to
want to ask
slowly
them a
back up.
question.
Yeah, what question would you like to ask?
Do you know where our cottage is on stilts?
They sort of stop and look at each other. Yep. We sure
Can you
do.
tell me where it is?
I'm sure I can.
That'll cost your happiest memory.
How about it
But,
costs us? No, go ahead.
Kind of don't want to, so I'm not going to.
I would like to try to persuade them into saying otherwise.
Okay, you can make me a persuasion check at disadvantage, please, because these people really don't want to give you this piece of information.
Well, that was a 1.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to roll again.
The hares don't respond to you. They just turn around and start to walk away.
We'll
They just
check you
continue.
later.
Good luck finding your scarf.
So, as they leave into the swamp, their strange interaction, what do you want to do?
I want to do what's around us. Do I need to
I
do a
propose
perception
we
check or
move out
anything
of this
like
mud.
No, you guys can still see in the distance the top of that tower. It's about 3 miles away or so.
Well, let's go that way.
And I believe the tower was the direction of the down balloon. That's the
Yes,
same
that was
direction.
also
The
the
balloon
direction
was a
of the
mile
tower.
away,
The
and
down
the
balloon
tower
was
was sort of 4.
a mile away.
You saw it about a
think-
mile off when you first spotted it. It's
it
about
could be further.
3 or so miles away to the tower, which is where you think it initially where it actually fell.
Right.
It seems like not all the denizens of this place are friendly. Maybe we should see if the people in that balloon need our assistance.
I agree.
I still
So-
think
plus,
we need to go find the cottage, but we can go on this little side adventure.
Well, perhaps
Well,
they might
we
know.
don't
the way
know
to the
what
cottage.
direction to head for the cottage. We need.
I don't know what direction it is in.
No, we need.
And if
some
they're in a balloon,
contact.
they might have seen it.
Perhaps we can
Mhm.
assist them in repairing the balloon. They can fly above the
So-
fog, and we might see something.
Just so that you guys know, at a normal pace, you guys can travel about 3 miles over the course of an hour. Just so you're aware.
Right.
That's assuming that nothing goes
Thank
wrong.
you.
That's assuming that the swamp
If we
doesn't
don't-
get deeper. Just
Question fog and
Yeah.
etc.
yeah.
And what
Three
time of day
miles.
is this? Like a
It
normal
is-
night-day cycle here, or are we in a
It
place where
appears
it's
to
just
be
like
twilight. Like it appears to be twilight. Like there is no sun here that you can see. It appears to be like a perpetual, like winter, like stormy sort of look. There is
Yep.
light. Or, like on a rainy or stormy day when like the
There's
sun's
fog.
going down, so like you can see, but there's no the sun isn't up, but you can see just barely. It's kind of
Yep.
like that, just perpetually here. It seems.
perpetual twilight? Yep.
Yeah, it's
Got it.
been like that for about 30 minutes or so that you've been here, and just hasn't changed. So whether or not it just has a slower rotation than where you come from, have to wait to find out, I guess.
Mhm.
So
Okay, well, let's
it
start heading towards
was
the tower.
okay. Could I please have somebody roll me? We'll say Zenfire, since you're the one
Yes.
with your
Tingling Thunderstones.
with your
My
tingling
Thunderstones be
Thunderstones?
tingling.
Could you please roll me a d20, sir?
I'd love to.
If it's bad, I blame you. It's all your fault.
Nice for it not to be my fault for a change.
Thanks for I blame that on you for telling me if that's bad. It's my fault.
Because it is. You're the one who rolled a 1, brother. That's not good.
Wow.
Did you get a
On that
1?
note, I'm gonna go get some to drink.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That's okay. Zenfire, could you please roll me a d8 now? My
God, I'll lose a 1 in 8 chance of getting 1. You beauty.
wonderful Thunderstone.
It's a 9.
A 9.
No, it can't be. No, it's a D8. It's a
How? What?
I watched it come up. Like, how did he roll a 9 and a
It's
D8?
upside down on my screen.
Is that determined? I guess.
No, it's a 6.
It's a 6. Wonderful. Okay. As you all begin moving through the marsh, you're not necessarily taking your time, but also not, going any slower than you need to. you begin to move through like this tall swamp grass that makes it sort of difficult to see. There's clusters of like cattails, like thorns in it that you have to sort of like keep picking out of your clothes. You begin to hear rustling ahead of you as the mist almost seems to grow. Do any of you want to do anything?
Sorry, what did you say we saw?
You just begin to hear like a rustling sound, like movement ahead of you.
I'd
Can
like
I
to make a
see it at
perception.
all? Kind of like perception or something?
Go ahead and make me a perception check, yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
16.
that's a 21.
Holy shitballs.
That's my score from before, plus 20.
Both of you spot through the reeds. There's like a clearing, and none of you have noticed this, but the swamp water now is about halfway up to your knees.
Oh, you fucker.
It's like you don't notice it initially, but as time goes on, like you sort of start to realize, oh, it's like you don't notice it rising, you notice it when it gets to points. It's just, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Like, yeah, it's not something you're actively sort of like, oh, you know, it's risen by a centimeter. It's like, oh, it's halfway up to my knee now. I should probably pay attention to that.
Except it's up to Racer's knees, so the rest of us are fine, right?
But she
As
can
you
just
look
fuck
through-
penguin
Racer's
wings and
drowning.
No,
fly.
I'm drowning.
Just pick
Racer's
her up
dead.
Put her on my shoulder.
You can just fly.
Yeah, you're fine, Racer.
So as
Doesn't
you
make it
look
fun.
through, you see through the reeds are 6 what look to be humanoid figures. You can see that each of them is wearing very ratty brown clothing. They clearly have like red skin, maybe that of a hobgoblin or bugbear of some variety. You can see that each of them has like patchwork, like they're dressed in patchwork rags and furs. They have like this strange bead mask over their face. And you can see that on their backs are these wire cages that appear to be padded with straws and filled with some sort of circular objects. The most unnerving thing about them, though, is that strapped to their palms and their feet are long stretches of wood that they're using to walk, like stilts. And they're just sort of slowly moving through the muck of the swamp on these stilts.
So they're
So-
in a clearing area, though, through the reeds.
Yeah, they're sort of like just a little bit ahead of you. They appear to just be passing by you, sort of heading vaguely in the direction you came from.
Are these
a little
bugbears
bit
not
more
singing
north.
also?
No, they appear to be completely silent. Apart from the like odd like slush of like their stilts in the water, they appear to be mostly quiet. It's kind of eerie.
So can we, it's only Ranik and I that saw them. So can we quietly whisper to everybody else and point through
Yeah,
the
you
reeds
can
and
very
let
easily.
bring that to everybody else's attention?
No issue at all. Yeah, all of you one by one quickly spot these things as they're pointed out to you.
Man, wish we had stilts.
I say that's a jolly good idea, isn't it?
We can use luggage as stilts.
Yes, luggage carry.
Question: Would your characters think to be quiet about having this conversation, or are you just?
I already
speaking
said
in
we
your normal
whispered.
tone?
No, that we quietly whispered to
Okay.
everybody.
Thank you very
Yep.
much.
I would like to
Well,
point
it's
out I
now
am a
talking
rogue.
quietly.
I am always quiet.
I'm
might
as
be
quiet as a
incapable.
dwarf can be, which is
I might be incapable of a handhold, but I can whisper.
Easy. So, what would you like to do?
what are we doing?
They appear to just be moving past you. They don't appear. They just continue moving.
I think we should
Let's
just
just
let
wait
them
it
go.
out.
I agree, but how can we figure out how to get one of those contraptions for ourselves?
Yeah, can we do an investigation or a perception on the stilts just to see how they work as the creatures are moving past us?
I'll say you don't really need a check. You can see they look very hand carved, very clearly, well made. They just appear to be simple long bits of like swamp wood, very thick, with a simple like wooden pad on the top with like some sort of like fur padding maybe that they can like grip around. Their feet are just strapped onto this with what looks like leather straps that then extend up their legs. And you can see that their hands likewise have like grips over the top of them so they can like hold on to it. They don't look overly well made. They just look like very basic stilts sort of thing. They look very rudimentary, like homemade sort of like swamp dwellers who have just sort of had to adapt to living in the water. If none of you interact with them, they just keep moving. Unless any of you want to stop them to talk to them.
Well, I wonder, can we see, is there any, like, do we notice any more about these circular objects that are in their cages and maybe ponder why
I'll
they
say
are?
go ahead and make me a perception check to see if you can get a better look at them. If you're just doing this from the read, you're not actually sort of interacting with them.
I'm not seeking to go closer, no.
No, yeah, okay.
So that is
just a perception check.
Perception check. Oh fuck, mate.
Dude, you're not rolling too good.
Okay.
It's hard to tell. They're sort of swaying back and forwards with the movement. These things are moving around in there. It's just hard to tell without getting closer. It's sort of like, it's a little darker. It's got like that swamp haze from the mist that's around them. It's just, it's kind of hard to tell is all. Could be anything, really.
So are we staying quiet? Are we letting them pass? Or are we going to try to talk to them?
No, I think we're letting them pass, aren't we?
Okay, then I will stand by.
After another minute or so, they've disappeared into the swamp. They just continue in the direction they're going. They don't stop. They don't spot you. If they spot you, at least they don't make a point of like noting you in any way, shape, or form. They just keep moving.
We should try and make some of those stilts.
But what would we fashion them from?
Didn't you say it was swamp wood? Like, is it not just?
It appeared to be some sort
around?
of hard wood. Yeah. Or it genuinely looked like large branches that had been almost specifically carved for this purpose. Like they looked homemade, but they did look sturdy and very well made. Like these.
Like I'm assuming we can't make some for me, but for
did you say make
else.
them from you?
Yes, I like that idea.
You could certainly try.
I'll take a crack at it.
Yep, I'm keen to try and make you guys some stilts.
You think it would probably take some time to do that?
Not so keen to do it anymore.
Yeah, it'd be.
Time's
it
of the
wouldn't be a
essence.
quick process. It would be it'd be sort of like you sit down for a day or two and carve stilts for people, and that's if you succeed well. Only a day or two, possibly longer, given that none of you are particularly well trained in stilt crafting.
Might I inquire as to the amount of time we spent pondering or allowing these bugbears to pass whilst we
Probably
were
only
waiting?
about 3 minutes or so, not very long.
Are we getting any deeper in this bog?
As you're standing there, you notice that by the end of the conversation, you haven't moved, but the bog is up to your knees.
Right.
Either it's getting higher or you're sinking lower. You don't know which it is.
Is there any way out of this? Because you're putting us into the swamp of sorrow here, swamp of sadness, whatever it's called. This is not good.
You guys have no idea.
impossible.
You guys know that to the east is the tower where the balloon fell. Further east is that strange hill, and to the north was the settlement. That's all
Let's
the
keep
information.
cracking.
Before
But
we
were
keep
already
moving,
towards the east, weren't we?
may I suggest you take some of that rope and we tie ourselves into a convoy
I like
and
it,
anchor
so
to each other?
Sure, yeah.
Let's do this.
I use my 50-foot rope, one of my 50-foot ropes, and tie us all together.
Tie you all together. Okay. Yeah, you can very easily tie yourselves together. Yeah, that's no
As
issue at
long
all.
as it doesn't involve me having to roll a dice for the next 5 minutes. We're good.
No, it's easy. It's just like wrap it around each person's waist, move it on to the next person, tie it off at each end. It's very easy to do. You sort of just like
Now, if one
probably
of
even
us
just like
starts
tie
to
it to
stink
each
really
person's
bad,
belt.
we're screwed.
It's probably just looped through each person's belt, so it's not too cumbersome. You can even do it while you're walking. Don't even need to stop. Anyway,
Yeah, let's keep
you
moving
all
towards the tower.
continue moving.
Yep, let's get out of this.
After
until morning.
another hour or two, the swamp water begins to. You don't know if you're getting higher or if the swamp water itself is just raising and lowering. You don't feel like you've been elevated. at least when you're on the bridge, you couldn't see any points that were higher than others. The whole swamp seemed pretty even in terms of altitude, except for a couple of like notable hills or like very specific locations. So all of you start to ponder that possibly the swamp's water is almost rising and falling, as if it was at the will of some almighty creator who was running a tabletop game and just decided that he wanted the water to be higher. Some sort of magic seems to almost be moving the water of its own accord.
I started writing that down, you fucker.
Genuinely though, the water does appear to be
It's
moving of its own accord. The water does genuinely appear to be moving.
It's called a tide.
Just
got
freely.
Yep.
A tide requires an ocean or a flow. This doesn't appear to have either. The water just appears stagnant.
Yep. At the whim of some benevolent creator. Benevolent being the operative word.
So,
Don't get that smart.
you see, as you exit through the trees, a crumbling stone tower rises out of the swamp, leaning at such an angle that it threatens to keel over. Black brambles surround the base of the tower and cling to its lower walls. Hanging from the crenellations on the lower side of the tower's peak is a huge woven basket at the end of a tangle of ropes and tattered fabric. The basket dangles about 30 feet above the surface of the swamp. You can see that the leaning tower is about 50 feet tall and about 20 feet in diameter total. And it appears that the side opposite to where the basket is hanging, there is an open door.
Uh-huh.
Before we go any
Why
Why
further,
do I
not?
feel like we're gonna find Rapunzel?
can I suggest we remove this rope for the time being? Now that we're out of the swamp water.
I recoil my rope up and put it in my bag.
Zenfire, do you feel any tingling in your Thunderstones?
Alas, all that water has caused my tingling Thunderstones to subside.
Should we go in?
It's more wrinkled Thunderstones now.
Yes, let's take a gander inside.
And my Thunderstones? No.
Not inside your not inside your Thunderstones. I don't want to see your Thunderstones.
Okay, good.
I want to go inside and get out of the water.
Just
But just before we go, can we see if there's anyone or anything in that basket? Like, is there like a body, an unconscious person, a
From
sign
where you
of
can see, you
life?
can't tell. It's like a balloon basket. So the
Yeah.
way it's hanging, you just can't tell. I'm afraid. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's all I wanted
it's
to know
just
before
with
we
the
go in.
sides.
But there's an open door on the side of the tower, quite near that
Yes.
basket, almost as if the basket landed there on purpose.
As you approach, I'll make sure that I was clear. So the basket and the tower is hanging from the top of the crenellations, like right at the top. The open
the basket's
door
at the
is
top of the
on
tower.
the opposite side, sort of like it's on the side of the tower that is sort of pointing towards the sky, and that door appears to be open, and the entire thing is surrounded by like a thick black bramble that you would have to move through to get there. As you do approach the bramble, you hear a very whispered voice say in common, your language, "Psst, you there? I need some help. I need your help." You all very quickly catch that the whisper comes from the basket that is dangling. You can see a very small head is sort of peeking over the edge of the basket. You can't make out any details from this distance, though, I'm afraid.
What kind of help do you need?
Do you yell that back at the person, or how do you
that
respond?
person whispered?
They've whispered.
And we could hear them. So what's the distance from us to that basket?
It said
It's
20
you
feet
know
or
you know
30
when you
feet.
like when you like shout whisper to someone.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like when I say that,
Yeah.
like you like loudly
I'm
whisper, if that makes sense. Yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
do that.
reply in the same way because somehow, even in real life, if someone shout whispers to you, you shout whisper back.
Yeah, it's
like a Jedi mind
weird-
trick.
Yeah. What do you say to them?
How can I? What do you need help with?
Yeah, what seems to be the trouble?
Well, as you can see, I'm in a bit of a bind. I, Sir Talavar, as one of the Summer Queen's loyal servants, ask that you free me. You see, I was in the midst of a daring escape from the vile Bavlorna Blightstraw when our balloon was set upon by an ill wind, and, well, it was kind of sent plummeting to its current unfortunate location. My pilot, the Honourable Wigglewog, didn't really survive. I've been trapped out here for about an hour now. Please help me. I must tell my Queen of the Fall of Prismere. Please.
Okay.
I'd
I
very much
propose-
appreciate it.
I have an idea.
I'm just gonna need you to do this. Bring us to a cottage on stilts.
I can. How about this? I'll tell you where it is.
Oh, brother. I'd much rather a guide.
Could you?
It doesn't
could
seem
you,
like you have much to bargain with.
Could you perhaps draw us a map?
Yes,
Well,
ooh,
I
I'll
can't
take
really.
that.
I'm kind of stuck in a cage up here. I kind of need you to get up here and unlock the bird cage that I'm inside so that I can get out of it. You guys
yes, we're-
realize
Oh,
about
hell
now.
no. Don't open
You
that
guys-
birdcage.
You guys realize about now
Leverage.
that the person you see, like, leaning over the edge isn't moving. You think that's the dead body.
That's Wigglewog.
You assume that's Wiggle, the Honourable Wigglewog. His body, like his head, is just and hands are just like over the edge of the basket, and the person who's speaking, it appears you can't see them.
Can we stop talking to him for a second and have a quick whispered conversation amongst ourselves, not shout whispering?
Yeah, sure, of course you can.
Whisper with.
If they know where it is and they're in a cage, we need to help the person in need. But perhaps we can have this conversation once they're out of the basket and there's
Why
no
are they
risk
in
of
a
them.
cage in the
It's a
basket?
dead person in the basket,
The-
buddy.
But there's something in a cage with the dead person, and that basket may fall and we may lose the chance to find out where the cottage is.
Okay. Now, just hold up. Think of a reason why they are in a cage.
I'm not
Why
saying we
are
should
they in a
release them
cage? If
from
they
the
landed in a
cage.
basket, why are they in a cage?
What I'm saying is, what if we get them out of the basket? They can stay in the cage till we know more. But if the basket falls, we may lose the chance.
Carry on, my good man. I have a counter proposal. What if we sent our fair fairy for a little flight to see what she can spy as to what this creature is that's in a cage in a basket hung from the side of a tower, requiring our assistance.
As you're having this conversation, you hear the voice. I can't make out what you're saying, but I can tell you're whispering. Just try to be quiet. There are two snakes or serpents or something. They're asleep in the brambles just outside the tower door. If you awaken them, they might put the squeeze on you or maybe devour me. Just try and shh. Just try and keep it down. Please.
Better you than us.
You don't even know this person. He might be a nice guy.
I don't want to die.
In a cage.
I'm keen
Right.
to know more about how he escaped in a cage.
Yeah, this is the part. See,
Right.
you see where I'm getting.
Oh yeah, no, I
confused?
get it. I get it. I'm just, but if we let this person die, we lose the
Oh, I don't
chance.
plan
If
to
they
let
know,
her
if they
die.
know where the cottage is.
Lord knows that Warforged loves a chat to investigate people. So, far be it from us to deny him that opportunity.
Yeah, wasn't racist flying up to have a look? Was that the plan?
That I proposed said plan.
Yes, I'll.
And maybe she can see a
Is
way
that
for
what you're
us
gonna
to.
do?
Yeah, why not? What could go wrong?
So, flying up.
I'm just looking for
Um,
excuses for you to flap the penguin wings, really. Like, you know this, don't you?
Yeah.
Flying up, you see, sure enough, in the about 50 feet up within the basket, you see the dead body of what appears to be a purple bullywug. Do you know what a bullywug is?
Not a clue.
A
can look it up.
bullywug is kind of like imagine like a frog person who's about the size of a halfling almost.
Yep.
Now, when I say frog person, don't imagine like a person with the head of a frog. Imagine their entire body is a head, and the head just has arms and legs coming out of it. That's a bullywug. They are great, and I hate them and love them at the same time.
Is it like
however-
the frog lady in Mandalorian?
Oh, please.
Yes, actually, no, exactly the same. Literally, that is a bullywug.
Nice.
Thank you very much for that. That is a very good
Nice
good
grab.
reference point.
Well played.
You know what? Go ahead and gain
Star
a point of
Wars.
inspiration for that one.
Yes, I'll take it.
Whee!
Go ahead and gain a point of inspiration. So you see, sitting at the bottom of the basket is what appears to be a silver bird cage lying on its side. You see, standing up in the bird cage, looking at you confused, is what appears to be a silver form. You can see that has a long and lithe body with a long tail with like a scorpion, like the end like a scorpion. You can see a draconic face with like a little pencil mustache that goes out to the side and curls, and a little bit of hair on his chin. You see he has very defined black eyebrows, one of them sort of raised up at you, and very piercing blue eyes. You can see that he wears a very nice necklace with a gold pendant on it, and wears a sword on his left hip. You see the form of a very dashing,
on the belt.
very noble-looking violet fairy dragon.
Okay.
He looks up at you and says, "Well, are you going to help me get out of here or not?"
Well, here's the thing. I actually do have a question about the cage. Is it like a locked cage, or is he like in there on his free will?
So,
I feel like he got kidnapped.
Mizz is the only one who can see it. Snack's the only one who can see it at the moment, but it
And remember,
appears to
she's
be
not
locked.
calling it out either to us because
No.
on the account of the serpenty type things.
That was a very good question, though, Ms. Snack. Yes, it does appear to be locked, as far as you can tell. Yeah, it
Well,
appears to be a small purple fairy dragon, about the size of a large cat or a small dog. He would be.
Can it eat me?
He's also wearing a pair of gauntlets for full plate armor, but just the gauntlets by themselves. Like he's got like a belt, a necklace, and like a sword on the belt, and gauntlets, and that's it. That's his outfit.
So
That is his
pretty
attire.
wild outfit.
And you said noble looking.
He looks very distinct. Like he holds himself with like an air of like he very self-possessed, like a knight would almost, like very clearly
distinguished.
knows how important he is.
He said
Then
he
so
was. I'm so confused by this little dude.
so could I, if I got up to the door, could I reach him from the door?
You could definitely reach into the basket from the door. Yeah.
Alright,
If you
then
get
I'm
up to the
gonna
top,
take-
you'd have to get up to the top. If you get because okay, I feel like I haven't explained this properly. The door is an entrance to the base of the tower. He is at the top of the tower,
Gotcha.
hanging
Right.
from it. So the
And we have to
door
get through the
enters the tower,
brambles.
and if there's a way up, then you could reach it. If you get up to the crenellations on the top, you could reach it.
I'd much rather try going inside than fighting the two snakes. So
The two
I'm
snakes
gonna
he said
hit
were
'em.
by the door outside.
Yeah,
You'd have
they're
to
in the
pass
brambles by the
I
door.
feel like guarding the door.
None of you
Well,
can
I
see
am a
where they are.
stealthy boy.
At this point, has Snack rejoined us on the ground?
If Snack would like to rejoin you, Snack is welcome to. That's up to Snack.
Oh,
Really.
hell no! I'm gonna stay with the noble man.
Oh. But
So
So we
somebody
don't,
has,
we don't know
an
what's
image
going on
It
there.
means we don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Okay, so
I
Huh?
actually want to do.
You- You stole my cupcake. This is what you deserve.
I don't know what you're talking about.
wow, callback.
I got told no, and no one would share. So I don't think anybody ate your cupcake but you. But we'll sit on side by
No,
that.
Spar stole some.
For the
But
dragonfly.
Remember
It was to
correctly?
save, it was to
Yeah.
save a dwarf's life. Anyway, we're not having this conversation because you're currently up in a basket. So carry on.
Ah,
I want to try to stealthily look to see if I can see the snakes near the door.
that's probably
Yeah,
not a
you
bad
can
idea.
go ahead and make me a perception check for those ones.
Can we all do that?
That
or-
is a 15.
And any of you are welcome to do that one. Anyone who looks in the Discord as well, I did just send you a wonderful picture of this dragon for reference.
Oh,
like,
nice.
in all of his dashing glory. If any of you would like a better picture,
Oh, no, we
yeah.
have to
Um,
rescue him.
I'm
He
back.
looks
I'll send
amazing.
you. If you guys would like them, I'll send you any images of NPCs after the session if you'd like to add them to anything for the YouTube. I'll send
Yes.
them.
Very cool.
That'd be awesome.
I'd just like to point out my rolling drought is now over.
Now, while they're doing their perception check on the snakes at severe risk to my sanity and life, can I see any handholds or ways that we could potentially climb up to the basket without entering the tower?
You're
Yes, the
vetoed
tower.
from
The
climbing
tower
up
looks
the
very
ladder.
old and definitely has handholds. Yes, you could definitely climb up from the outside. It'd be more dangerous. If there's stairs on the inside, you imagine it'd probably be safer to go through the inside. But it's definitely possible to climb on the outside if need be. That is
But the
definitely
outside
an
may mean that we don't deal with snakes. Sorry, just I know now
Possibly.
we know that there is a way potentially of climbing. That's it.
Yes, but
I'll just share that with everybody else.
certainly.
Right. Now, what do we learn
What
from
did
my
everyone
nat
get?
20 perception check?
Ooh, nat 20.
Okay, anyone who got 15 or higher, you do see about 10 feet away from the door, lying together, are two what look like giant constrictor snakes. They are huge. They're almost as wide as a horse and 5 times as long. They
Is this
are
just like some Feywild snakes on a plane
massive.
off-brand story?
We need
Like,
a
they
15
are
to see them.
man-eaters. They could swallow
You need a
any of
15
you
to see
whole.
these huge ass snakes.
Swallow any of its whole.
I will say, with your natural 20, though, Zenfire, you also notice that they are breathing very slowly and both appear to be asleep.
Nice.
Just so that
Okay.
there's that little bit of information. They appear to be completely and utterly asleep.
Let's not
Now,
wake them.
I can either sneak past them and go try to get this guy loose.
You are
or-
a rogue.
Yes, I'm very. If we do not look back to who stole the pocket watch, it was these slippy fingers right here who did it. I could sneak past and see if I can go get go give Racer a hand up there, or we have Racer just cut the rope or whatever's holding there, and we try to catch him.
Well,
That would be the louder option. I much
Yeah.
rather go with the quieter option.
No, so at this point, is Racer still cavorting with...
I'm chilling with my new man.
Right, I see. Okay.
Mizz snack.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
She's trying to become his snack.
While you guys are talking about that, can I just say that this reminds me very much of Sir Didymus in the Labyrinth,
Yeah.
the fox guy with the eye patch.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I am outside of the character. I am all in for helping this dragon.
Yeah.
If he's a Sir Didymus,
Very, 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 very much the same sort of energy.
that's when you were describing. I'm like, yeah,
Very.
that sounds so much
Yeah.
like Sir Didymus.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to
Okay.
stealth past these snakes and go inside the.
Yes.
Go
no.
ahead and make me a stealth check, Ranik.
Oof. That is a 11.
Dude.
Look,
Does
it's a
he
plus
still
5,
have-
man.
Does he still have his advantage from Racer at the bridge?
No.
Wait, I
Um,
could. I
hours
could. I
ago.
could. Can I use my inspiration?
You can use your inspiration if you want.
Oh, but yeah, I'll use it.
So, inspiration for me, you get to re-roll that roll with advantage this time.
Okay. Okay, good thing you said reroll with advantage.
Yep.
Oh my god, nope, it's meant to be an 11, brother. It went 11, 9, 11. So, yeah, we're staying 11.
Total of 11.
Yeah.
You are creeping very, very carefully through the bramble. You're used to being stealthy. You're not used to being stealthy while traveling through a blackberry bramble in the middle of a swamp. Nevertheless, you manage to reach the door, and turning about, the snakes don't appear to be waking up. Or if they have, they don't appear to be making any motion at the very least. You
count
are at
that as
the
a win.
base of the tower. Looking inside, you can see that there are stairs that wind from the left to the right and extend all the way, that appear to extend all the way up to the top.
I am going to quietly start ascending those.
Easy. You quietly ascend the 50-foot tower eventually reaching a small open door at the top. Stepping out, you stand on the uppermost point of the crenellation on this bending tower.
All right. Can I? Do I see the basket?
You can reach out and grab the edge of the basket and pull it towards you. Looking inside, you can see a small silver bird cage with a violet fairy dragon inside.
Okay, I'll pull it in and set it down on the ground.
Okay, you reach in, you pick up the bird cage, and you set it down on the ground.
Okay. I am not going to free him yet because we have a lot to discuss. But
Smart.
there's a lot of questions here. But I'm just gonna need you to stay quiet. All right, Racer, fly back. Oh wait, sorry, Snacks, fly back down. I'll get him down there. And now we're doing the whole stealth thing back.
Go ahead. So you climb down the tower quietly enough. Go ahead and make me a stealth check to attempt to get back.
That's a 16.
I think that's better than the way up. Good work.
You follow your tracks back and very easily manage to get back down the tower without any issue. You get back to your allies, and I'm assuming quietly remove yourselves back into the swamp away from where the sleeping snakes are currently held up.
That would be ideal.
Okay. As you're going, do you have any questions for this self-righteous looking fairy dragon?
Guide us to where we need to go, and we'll set you free once we arrive there.
He's sort of standing there with his arms crossed and says, "First off, I doubt any of you could set me free even if you wanted to. It's a magical cage. You need the key. Secondly, I have far more important business. I must return to my home so that I can let my queen know that things are not right here in Prismia.
Okay.
The Summer Queen must
Counteroffer.
be
Dormant
informed.
Queen.
Yeah, is this the dormant queen?
You said that you were looking for a cottage on stilts in the heart of the swamp.
It was the Summer Queen.
Mm.
I am happy to point you in that direction. Might even have some information that's useful to you. Should you be able to get me out of this blasted cage?
Truth be told.
All
He
right.
just said that no
Counteroffer.
one would be able to get him out of the cage. So
He said he
why is he
doubted we
asking
could.
us?
Counteroffer. We take you. You guide us there, and once upon arrival, we try to get you out of the cage. If we can't get you out of the cage, we'll take you where you need to go.
Are any of you magically inclined? Arcane magic specifically, with the ability to open locks?
I can open normal locks.
You are not able to pick this lock. It is magical. You need either magic or the key itself. Now, if I was to lead you where you want to go, that would be the opposite direction. Now, I am not a rude man. I apologize so sincerely. We have not made introductions. My sincerest of apologies. I am so sorry. I am Sir Talavar, knight errant of the Sealy Court and a loyal vassal of the Summer Queen. It is a pleasure to make all of your acquaintances, and I thank you for saving me from those dastardly snakes. It is just such a shame that my wonderful companion had to perish the way he did in the crash. He was so brave right up until the end.
So here's my next question. Why are you in a locked cage if you are a knight trying to return to his queen?
How about this? We can begin traveling to the east. I know where my key is. My key is currently, as Jade tries to remember exactly where the key is. My key is with a goblin by the name of Jingle Jangle. He lives atop Telemy Hill, not too far from here to the east. About, I don't know, 2 hours or so.
Okay,
5 miles roughly.
You gave us some good information, but you're still dodging my question. Why are
I was
you
going
in the
to
cage?
say, we start traveling that direction. It's a long story. I will gladly regale you with a tale. So if we start, in the meantime, we might as well start walking in that direction. You can
We'll
retrieve
walk
my
in the
key.
direction of the.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna try
yeah.
to persuade him. I'm gonna try to persuade him.
He does not need any persuading. The moment you agree to walk in there, he sits down in the
No,
cage and
I'm
with a
not
great
agreeing
deal
to
of
walk him
fanfare.
there.
God damn it, Egg.
What?
Oh, you're not?
No.
Okay.
I agree. I agreed. I'm trying to make the persuasion that if he takes us to the cottage, we'll help him after.
Might I suggest we
I-
perhaps move
What
further
the
away from the
fuck,
tower?
dude?
The serpents are still there.
Dear sir,
He doesn't have a lot of
I-
chips to bargain with, guys. We need help getting to the cottage.
I have a noble intention being here in Prismia. I was sent here as a noble emissary of Queen of Titania, the Summer Queen. I came here to speak with Zabila, attempting to get her
Dormant
aid for the
Queen.
Sealy Court. And unfortunately, I was trapped in this cage. Now, that bullywug up there attempted to help me. I will gladly tell you the whole story. But I have far more important things. You want to get to the cottage for God knows what reason. I have to go and save the entire Feywild and warn my wonderful Summer Queen what has happened here. Now, I am happy to give you exact directions to the location, if only you would agree to help me get out of this dastardly cage.
Yeah, I agree to help you.
Okay, so everyone, then I'm just going to turn to the group. Whatever you guys want to do. Either we can.
I
Yeah,
want to
help
move
him.
away from the serpents, regardless of what we do.
They're
Just
Okay,
saying.
asleep.
we think
I-
they're
I-
asleep.
I
I
I-
assumed you guys had moved far enough away you can have a conversation.
Right, okay, good.
I am
Yeah.
prepared to move in the direction you indicate, provided your story not just covers your background. I want to know why the goblin has the key, and also would like to know everything you know about the slumbering queen and where we may find an Alicorn
Oh,
Horn.
Yeah, so
Could
I was
I
going to
do
say
it?
perhaps we could ask him about
Could I do
Yeah,
an
I can
insight
tell
check
you-
on this fellow?
Oh god. Can
I
you
can
tell
tell
us
you
what
of
happened
many
to
of
the
those
police?
things.
Like,
So-
why did it just explode?
Prior to this, I was sent by Queen Titania, the Summer Queen, to Prismia. It's what this land is called. Well, technically, you are in Hither. Hither, Thither, and Yor together make up the land of Prismia. Now, Zabila, I came to attempt to convince her to ally with the Sealy Court temporarily against the Fomorians. They were invading our lands, and they've been quite problematic. You all know that Fomorians are sort of like mutated stone giants. They're like abominations. I soon discovered that Prismia had been taken over by a group of 3 hags calling themselves the Hourglass Coven. Before I could return with the news of the treachery, Bavlorna, the hag that is currently in charge of this particular area, known as Hither, trapped me in an enchanted magical birdcage in which that I obviously now inhabit. However, thankfully, there was a bullywug, one of the wonderful frog people that live in the settlement around where she makes her home, and he was sympathetic to my plight. That was Wigglewog, you saw his body. He stole my cage and fled with me in one of Bavlorna's balloons. Soon after, however, I was attacked by a malicious wind. It almost seemed to be alive. And it unfortunately sent us careening into that ancient crumbling tower in the middle of Hither's swamp. Unfortunately, my noble, brave companion did not survive the crash, and I have been stranded there since for the last hour or so. A pair of serpents, they are in Bavlorna's service, caught up to me. However, they appeared just simply too lazy to climb the tower. They just sort of fell asleep and waited for me to starve, I guess, not realizing that I don't need to eat.
Can I do an insight check on his story?
Go ahead and make me an insight check.
I will assist on
Gosh,
that.
dang, that's a 5.
5.
21 from me.
Okay, 21, yep. Anyone else going to roll or no?
Sure, I'll
Oh,
crack.
go on, I'll do it.
No, I trust him.
I got a 15.
15?
I got a 21.
Boom.
I'm just playing the part of the rogue. I don't trust anybody.
Fair.
Ranik, it's hard to tell. Like, you've never had to read like a magical miniature dragon before, so it's kind of hard to get a proper reading on this particular figure. Zenfire, you're confident that he's telling the truth. Like, you're not 100% sure, but you're like, everything adds up. You don't find any inconsistencies in his story. You're pretty confident. On the other hand, Luggage and Snack, you two hear his story, and his story seems to ring true with a lot of what very little information you have about this place in the vague riddles and clues you've been given. Everything seems to add up with it being taken over the 3 hags, the idea that there's this queen who's been, overthrown. He seems very honest. He seems upbeat and almost very jovial. Doesn't necessarily seem down, but he also seems very rushed. Like he very much wants to get back and warn the Summer Queen about what's happening here.
All right.
Bavlona Brightstraw, the one that you said you were looking for. Well, you didn't say you were looking for her. You were looking for her cottage on the stilts. It's in the heart of a place called Downfall. It's a bullywug settlement. The bullywugs of Downfall are actually quite courteous people, and they're quite welcoming, provided you do not offend them, of course, and you follow the rules of Prismia. Do not break the rules, after all. I can't be doing that. I would warn you, though, Bavlorna does have the ability to conjure minions. They look like, I don't know, like tiny versions of herself, almost. Oh, and she has 2 sisters. She loathes them, hates both of them. The 3 of them make up a coven, the Hourglass Coven specifically. They managed to use a strange artifact called Eaglewilv's Cauldron. It managed to, unfortunately, freeze time in Zabila's palace, trapping her inside, unfortunately. It's quite a shame. And as to why the goblin has the key, I have absolutely no idea. I just heard it. I was simply informed by my wonderful bullywug friend that that's where he was taking me. I have no idea as to why he did.
Oh, does everybody believe this story?
I can tell you that
I'm intrigued enough
this
to explore it further.
this Sir Knight speaks true.
All right. Well, then let's take him where he needs to go. He held up his end.
So if we've got a big long walk, can we ask him some of our other questions, GM?
What other questions would you guys like to ask him? Go ahead.
I also would still like to try to pick the lock as we're walking, I gotta take a crack at it.
Go ahead, make me a sleight of hand check. Why not? Do you have actual thieves' tools on you?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and when you make that, I'm assuming you're proficient with sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and when you make that check, add your proficiency a second time to that. Add your proficiency.
Then I got a natural 20.
Okay. With that's called a soft 20. That one is. You got 20 without rolling it on the die. So you give it your best shot. You feel everything clicking into place. You are working your best work that you've done in years, and yet for some reason it just won't open. Like you can feel it. Everything's in place for the lock to be undone, but the door just won't open. Like it's magically being held closed.
I gave it a shot.
He did. It appears that he did actually manage to speak true, and it is very much yeah.
Maybe I was hoping there might be runes I could scratch or something.
I do. I believe this.
I believe him. I still just want to try to help. We're walking. I have nothing else better to do.
He actually also gives you directions, like maybe 30 minutes into the journey, as to where Downfall is and where you can find Bavlorna Blightstraw's spooky cottage on stilts. He gives you that that information very early. It is when you get to Lamey Hill, where he's currently leading you, it will be almost directly northwest of you. It appears to be quite close to that large tree-based settlement, sort of a little bit west of that tree settlement that you saw. Yeah, it's a little bit west of that, it appears.
Can I ask my other questions?
What else did you? Yeah, what else we got?
So Tolliver, I believe you speak true to us. What can you tell us of how to end the Queen's slumber? How to break the effects of the hourglass?
I'm afraid I have absolutely no idea. Again, my mission here did not in any way, shape, or form include dealing with this situation, and I think I am more use to go back and tell the Summer Queen what's happened here. Perhaps she will have a way of stopping this hag's in charge of a portion of the Feywild. Is quite the worrisome thing. I apologize that I could not be more assistance in that regard, but it is not really my area of expertise, as they say.
You're most kind. And do you perchance know where we may obtain an Alicorn Horn?
Yes, where might we happen upon one of these?
An Alicorn?
Alicorn, sorry.
I believe... A unicorn's horn.
Yeah, that's right. It's the 4-leaf clover. It's a unicorn horn.
Yeah.
It's got another one coming off it.
I apologize. I have not seen an Alicorn. I have not heard of an Alicorn in Prismia for thousands of years.
Oh, excellent.
Champion.
Your best bet might possibly be to attempt to look in thither, perhaps, rather than hither. Again, the entirety of Prismia has been split into 3 sections. Hither, where you currently are, is led by Bavlorna Blightstraw. It's a spooky swamp. Thither, however, is a more forested area, if you will, led by one of her sisters. And then Yor is a mountainous region, also led by another one of her sisters. Unfortunately, the misty wall makes it difficult to pass. You'll need to find a specific guide who has permission to travel between the areas in order for you to be taken along with them. I attempted to leave, but I was caught. I traveled into the mist and was summarily spat back out of it again, heading in the direction I just came, and was subsequently captured. Quite an unfortunate thing, really.
Okay.
I have no questions for him. I
They did bring you to
help
us.
break his lock.
I would like to inquire if Sir Talavar believes that we might find such a guide in the Bullfrog settlement of Downfall.
Surprisingly enough, I do believe that there is one. What was his name?
Hopefully not Wigglewug.
I believe that his name was, from memory, actually Clapperclaw. He was
Love it.
from memory, he was an animated scarecrow.
I didn't know where odds on this bitch up.
So I've got on the
From
Tin Man.
memory,
We're about to meet
someone
up
told
with a
me a
scarecrow.
story. Apparently, one of the 3 hags had taken a child soul that had ended up in Gehenna, one of the layers of hell. It had been tortured for many years. She pinched it and shoved it into a scarecrow.
Oh.
Yeah. He fled thither, the area that was there, and supposedly is one of the only people who can head back there. Unfortunately, I also believe, I hate to say it, but I think he doesn't have a head from memory. Agdon Longscarf, the Herangium brigand, apparently stole it when he first entered hither. It was described as being a glorious stag skull. He desperately wants it back, and he's a bit self-conscious from what I've heard about his replacement head. It's like a hollow gourd that now sits askew on his shoulders. Poor man. It's quite unfortunate.
During all of this,
where did you say the stag skull? Who stole the stag skull? Sorry.
Oh, a brigand by the name of Agdon Longscarf. He leads the Heragium bandits. You do recognize he was the man that the song was sung about, was Agdon Longscarf.
He's one of Jebek's mates.
Apparently, as far as you can tell, that appears to be their leader.
Oh, so the
Yes.
the subject of the song.
Yep.
Actually, the settlement of Brigand's Tollway, it's to the north. It's a large settlement built around the giant trunk of a tree that was cut down some years ago. You should be able to find him here, should you wish to aid your little friend. I'm sure if you help him, he'd be happy to guide you out of here and into thither.
And it's on the way to the cottage. I see where this is. Yep. Yeah, we got during all of this, if I could apologize, Sir Tolliver, most rude of us, and introduce myself and the rest of us, because he's introduced himself twice and we haven't actually told him
I
who we are.
assumed you guys politely introduced yourselves, unless
Right,
otherwise
good.
you'd like to state that you didn't. I assumed you guys were polite enough to introduce yourselves.
Okay,
Good,
good.
good,
Thank you. Because I forgot about that.
He would very quickly ask for introductions if you didn't.
Now, after all these discussions, have we arrived yet at the destination where we might find Jingle Jangle the Goblin?
Jingle Jangle
One
the Jailer.
quick second. there it is. You noticed that while you're traveling with him, all of the clouds directly above you in the sky seem to be shaped like little hearts, like little love hearts. You notice. And birds and crickets in the area where you guys travel with Talavar almost seem to like sing and chirp merrily. There seems to be like an almost jovial sort of energy anywhere you travel at the moment.
Geez, that's a shit way to be stealthy.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how I like being in this group right now.
Giant love hearts over the top of this handsome dragon.
Not as
But I
covert as I
like him.
normally like it to be, but
I like
hey.
him. I want to
So-
keep him around.
As you hear the hill before you see it, the crunching and destruction of a walking hilltop with its strange clown-like shoes moving through the swamp. You are greeted by the scent of sweet-smelling fruit. Damp and downy, silvery green moss blankets a gentle upward slope before giving way to a craggy ridge that marks the top of the hill. Dozens of enormous willow trees dot the hillside, swaying as though in a breeze, despite there being the absence of wind. You suspect that the entire hill is approximately half a mile wide. You can see that off the edge, as it moves slowly, is a small ladder on which one would climb up to a set of stone stairs.
Well, let's go up the ladder. let's go clap the cheeks of this jingle jangle.
You all, one by
can we-
one... Yeah?
Is it free and clear and there's no guards, there's no
Doesn't appear to be, as
Like-
far as you can tell.
it's just
Ladder.
a ladder to somewhere.
Just
Stairway
appears to be a ladder. It leads up to the actual like side of this, like this hill, and then a stone stairway seems to lead up the hill. Because again, the hill is moving, almost as if it was like on a turtle's back, but with clown legs instead of a turtle.
Right. So
Um,
it's not moving too fast there. We won't.
No, it's moving very slowly. You can get on it
Okay,
without any rolls or anything at all, really.
Right.
I'm just going to assume at the moment one of us, me or someone else, is carrying this cage. So if you guys are going up the ladder, I'd like to hold off towards the end and just ask Sir Tolliver if can he tell us anything about the what we may encounter with Jingle Jangle, what we may expect at the top of
I
this road.
believe that Jingle Jangle herself is not necessarily aggressive. From what I've heard, she's actually quite friendly, from what I was told by my bullywug companion. Supposedly she just likes to collect keys, and it's entirely possible that she traded for mine, or perhaps even just found it somewhere when someone died with it on them. I believe that she should be quite cordial, actually. Supposedly, Telemy Hill is quite a welcoming, nice place. I've heard only good things about Jingle Jangle and the living trees that live upon it.
So we don't need to go in guns a-blazing.
Let's go.
Yeah. So if everyone didn't hear that, I'll share that up the ladder.
As you all climb the ladders and begin to move, up the hill, you watch as 4 of those giant willow trees, those huge, towering things, stand up out of the ground, almost like the Ents from Lord of the Rings, and begin to make their way down towards you slowly. One of them kneels down to look at you with what to you looks like just bark, but must be where he sees possibly. Hello there. Welcome to Telemy Hill. I was just wondering how long you're planning to stay exactly. If you don't mind my asking.
Love it.
Well, Egg can't tell a lie, so Egg, how long are we staying for?
At this point, I might point out that Egg has appeared to drop from said call.
Oh, damn
Why
it.
would he have done that?
Well, I'm not sure he's done it on purpose.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't have.
Gotta love
Alright.
that dodgy Australian Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We are heading towards
Right.
the end of the night.
Okay.
Yep.
Would you guys like to finish up a little bit early this evening, so that we don't
God,
have Egg in
yes.
this?
Yeah, I think it'd be better if we don't proceed too much
Mm.
past this.
I feel like I just want
So-
Egg to respond in same kind.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So maybe
Wonderful.
is that a good point to park it?
Yeah,
Jay?
that's definitely that's a perfect place to finish up for the evening.
Because I'm
thank
happy
you very
to
much.
do. Did you still want to do the level up stuff, or do people need to bounce and we'll do it before the next session?
Oh yeah, just the level up stuff. Basically, you all level up to level 3.
Yes.
Thank you.
So go ahead on D&D Beyond. If you just go to level up or go into your character editor, change it to 3. So any of you who are primary spellcasters, so spellcaster is your main role, you should have 2nd level spell slots now. Any of you who haven't already get to pick up your archetypes or your paladin oaths and stuff like that.
Oh,
I'm
I
a primary
so
picked
user.
Soul
take
Knife?
your time.
I can't remember what I picked.
You guys don't have to
Alright.
absolutely pick everything tonight. You have until next week. So take the week, consider your options, and just take your time to pick new spells and, just make sure that you really get your character sorted in the way that you want to.
Nice.
Jay, did you remember
Um,
what I told you I was going to pick as a rogue? I think I said I was going to do Soul Knife.
I think you did say Soul Knife. You're welcome to change that, though, if there's something else that sort of jumps out at you. Feel free to play whatever you want, but I think you did say Soul Knife when we were first doing character building. But
Yeah, I'm going
if,
to do
if
Soul
you want to
Knife.
do something
That
else, you're
sounds so
welcome to.
sick.
Easy as that.
I've got no idea what I'm going to do, but
Oh,
I'll
no,
happily
I'll
go and
invest
tinker
in
and look at the level 2 options and see if I get any more spell slots or any of that, and answering what I can do with the level 2 spell slots.
Easy as team.
Well, dude, thank you again for another really, really fun session, and thank you for your patience with the audio stuff at the start. I'm hoping that
Anytime.
Hey,
I would like to make
ugly.
I would like to make an interesting little point that one of my friends pointed out the other day. This is the end of session 3, and you guys still haven't rolled initiative for combat yet.
This is true.
No, we
Solid
haven't.
work. Yeah,
This is
you
I'm
guys
trying my
still
best
have
not to.
been.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, this adventure, literally every single, you can go through this entire adventure, get the best possible ending, and never draw a weapon against someone. No, this is a no combat necessary if you guys choose it to be. So solid work so far.
There's just custard damage. That's all.
Making custom damage is the biggest threat. Yes.
No, climbing down a bridge, I would argue, was
Yes.
the biggest threat.
Climbing down.
Right, there's tingling Thunderstones, but we won't go.
I don't know. There's some hair warriors who might start dance fighting in your general direction if you're not careful.
Yeah, they didn't seem too
Oh, I
happy
want
with
to see the
us.
Warforged dance fight back.
That will not be the last you see of those brigands.
I
Oh,
didn't think it would be. I
thinking-
want their paint. I want the black and blue paint.
Picking between
teased me
yours
with
and my
paint.
lack of fashion, that we probably have a lack of dancing ability as well.
Yeah, I think they just go hand in hand, really.
This is true, and you want it to be painted.
The conversation we had before you got there did not lead me to that being the suggested outcome.
So
Not when-
my
not when they want
vote
to
for the
steal my
title of
happiness.
my vote for the title of this week's VOD is my Thunderstones are tingling.
Oh, Tingling Thunderstones was
Yeah.
that's definitely where I was going with the YouTube video. Unless someone can come up with a better one. Egg, we were just wrapping up. It might be easiest because we want you to talk back to the Ents. If you
Entish.
if you catch the last if you catch the
Ents
last
like,
couple minutes of the
yeah.
VOD, you'll be all over it because we they had questions for us, and we know you can't lie, so we wanted to hear you speak in Entish. Oh, okay, you
It's
can't
not like-
keep secrets.
That's all right.
It's not like
they
we're
were
trying to
asking.
keep secrets anyways.
No, but I just thought it'd be fun
are
for
we?
Egg to talk back to the Ents. That was with Dante. I wanted to hear him. To be continued next week.
Yes, yes.
But that was awesome. And Racer, good luck with your little fella.
Yeah.
Hopefully he stays and the rest of you stay COVID free.
Indeed.
He'll win or I'll kill him.
Jesus.
Jesus. There's a high stakes
Things
game
are going
of,
from 0 to 100 real quick tonight.
that's a high stakes rapid antigen test game right there at your place.
Jesus.
Oh,
Oh, my
you've
God.
got to wear that hat now every week. That's gone.
Oh, it is brilliant.
Every time you fly, I just want to see.
Yeah, then they go. Perfect.
I remember when she got
Brilliant.
that. She was so excited about it.
It's brilliant.
Oh, sorry, Bean. We were just having a post a game chat. We normally have this off stream, but I haven't stopped the stream yet. All right. Well, we might wrap it there, and I'll raid out. And thanks again, guys and girls. It was awesome fun. And Egg, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize you dropped. So everything that we did while you're away will be up there for you, and I'll let you know when the video's ready.
You didn't miss
I
much-
tuned
much
out
amazing.
hardcore the last 20 minutes, but anyway.
Well, you did flap your ears at the right time, so
This is
you
true.
did good.
This is true.
No,
Just
punching.
whoever I'm punching, you're punching, okay?
just talking. Trees are friends,
we
not.
were making a
punching
Moonlight
bags.
and Spider-Man reference.
Okay. Too easy. All right. Peace out, folks. Thanks again. That was an awesome night, and I just look
See
forward
you
to next
later.
Monday.
See ya.
Not everyone.
Cheers.
See yous.
Bye.